Group D, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WFZ versus Blade. WFZ, one of the 4 undeads in the tournament alongside Michael Chao Kai and 120. Will he finally be able to redo his playoff runs from early in the Gold League days? 2015, 2016. That's when he was shining still, when he was considered one of the best undeads in the world. Since then, always close, but never really got it.
中国 UD 选手排序120第一，英菲第2，小凯是要么他第3，要么我第3吧，都差不多吧，可能还是要看比赛发挥吧。这个好像没有吧，因为我觉得大家实力其实都挺强，分到谁的话，其实也没有说特别好打的对手。 最低的目标是要先把强吧，如果能够发挥的更好，往后走的话，就是额外完成目标吧。
Alrighty. I think by now I can almost predict all the answers, man.
We do follow a certain pattern. Yeah, WFZ, we've seen him over the years a lot. 2014, I still feel like was his most glorious year. Back then, he was considered the best undead in the world. Since then, he's long been overtaken by 120 in China and Happy from Russia. He has some standout performances where he plays really well. He has even won a few smaller tournaments online. But when it comes to WGL, I don't know why it is, but for some reason, it never ends up too well for WFZ.
Indeed. Last time he was eliminated by Foggy in the group stage when TH was winning that group. And once again, he finds himself in the group with a Westerner. Might help him, as of course the conditions are a little better. And it's Blade's WGL debut. The group is by no means easy. I think the 2 favorites we will be seeing in the last match of the day, as you can see the group right here, Lawlight and Chemico. The 2 Korean juggernauts. Should be their group, if we're honest.
Yeah, they are certainly going into this as the favorites. WFZ and Blade would have to put up a really strong performance to be strong contenders, unless we're gonna see the other 2 Koreans not bringing their best A game. But I imagine they will be coming up later. Blade, the Enigma. We've been trying to get him on a webcam for years. We've been trying to get a new photo from him from years, but he just refuses. So many unanswered questions surround the Moldovan player, but one question doesn't have to be asked, that's very clear, and that is that he is a very strong player. First place in the Western qualifier, defeated Foggy pretty clearly, if we're honest, and for a long time was the by far best human in Europe. Most recently, I feel like his shape isn't as strong as it was maybe in summer. Hopefully he can shape himself up a little bit here for this group stage.
Would love to see that. He's been very, very active this year, and this was really his year rising to fame, especially in the Rising Star Cup, man. He has made a great impression. 2nd place only bested by Happy, as so often. Also DreamHack Summer, 2nd place for him. Ultimate Cup also 2nd place for him. He has become this year one of the top 4-5 European players, not on the same level as Happy, but definitely on a good day, level as Hawk, level as X-Lord, level as Vortex, level as Foggy. And he really wanted to play this Gold League. He was really close in summer already, but then there was Foggy and X-Lord. See the introduction here? I really wonder, oh no, we don't see an introduction of this. We go straight to the map picks and bans. So apparently also the Chinese tournament organizers, no luck with them. WFZ banning Amazonia and Terranas stand. Blade with Concealed and Northern Isles. So it is Blade with Last Refuge, WFZ with Turtle Rock, and we start on Echo Isles.
Alright, I really like the Northern Isles ban. I think that's the modern right way to do it for the humans. And look at this, Blade chooses LR, whereas previously we saw the other humans in the group stage banning LR. I think Blade here honestly has a smarter map veto there, but he leaves Turtle Rock in the pool instead of Concealed Hill. That is very much surprising to me. What does he have planned on TR? WGL is the only tournament that runs Turtle Rock. So how much experience does Blade have on that map? It's in the ladder map pool, but that is very different from tournament games oftentimes.
Yeah, Blade was playing quite a bit of Chinese tournaments as well, so maybe they followed up and he knows about that. But in general, you're absolutely right. Not too much information about Blade's performance on Turtle Rock, and maybe that's the one map that he has to play. He's like, okay, man, I give you the edge, but I crush you on the other maps. It is WFZ's pick after all.
Yeah, a little bit like Infi maybe, right? Where we started on Turtle Rock and Infi got completely destroyed. But boy, quite the vengeance that he came back with there. And the big question is, how does Turtle Rock work out for WFZ? What's WFZ gonna play? Is it gonna be Cryptlord all the way or DK Fiend standard? There's multiple options for Undead nowadays.
And we have our game starting on Echo Isles. Ladies and gentlemen, on the upper left-hand side, we see the Moldovan Mauler. It is Blade. And in the upper right-hand side, the former best Undead in the world. That is quite some time ago, but he's still very strong. Let's see if he can surprise us now. WFZ.
Echo Isles, for many years, used to be considered a very bad map for Undead, very strong for human with a fast expansion. But nowadays, that Undead can play either DK Fiend pressure off of one base or Cryptlord fast expand. This map has become a lot better for Undead. In terms of map picks and strategic choice, Undead has a lot of weapons, a lot of options nowadays with having two strong strategies. But it seems like most Undeads around the world, with the exception of Happy, much prefer the Cryptlord nowadays.
And WFZ follows that pattern as well, especially on this map. Like, if you play DK here, it's almost a death loss, but with the Cryptlord, you have a very, very powerful tool to your hands. Interested in what we will see here and how he will play this. I always felt like the Europeans are one step ahead when it comes to the Cryptlord play, and the Chinese and Koreans are following that. Blade, he's always trying to defeat the strong Undead players in Europe, so he knows exactly what to do against pretty much any style of Cryptlord.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Exler was the first to really show how to really well play the Cryptlord. I think 1-0 nowadays especially is super strong with Cryptlord, specifically against Orc, what he has been able to show in the past. Very, very impressive. Cryptlord players are catching up in Asia very well, very quickly. But the counter Cryptlord play doesn't look that flawless yet by quite a few, especially what Sok didn't seem very well adjusted. We see Blade here pulling in the Murloc camp, trying to throw out a couple of ensnares. But, okay. Uses one. Doesn't do that much, but he's a little bit annoying. Usually a key against a Cryptlord is getting mercenaries early. Is Blade gonna go for that, is the question.
And I wonder, is Blade nervous? This is by far his biggest tournament ever. Like, it was never really near the amount of money that can be earned here. He was in a DreamHack final. We give him that. But yeah, WGL is WGL. It might not be offline for non-Chinese, but still, does he feel the pressure? He doesn't strike me as a player who gets nervous.
Yeah, I wouldn't say so either, but we're gonna see how the big stage affects him, if it affects him. Here we see the mercenaries being hired early for Blade, but he went green into Mercamp, so the expansion will be very late if Blade goes for it, while WFZ is going for the middle creep. This is the usual creep route for Undead. Creep the natural first and then go to the merchant. It's going to be good experience for the Cryptlord getting to 2.5, and then he can be aggressive right away if he wants. But Blade has the first Shadow Priest and can go for a Berserker right away as well, which he should go for, and then you have pretty good weapons against the Cryptlord pressure, which is looking quite scary over here with ghouls, skeletons, and beetles.
Exactly. We have to say, as we did for Foggy, that he's playing from Moldova, so not the greatest ping, but he was able to win some Chinese Open Cups in the past, so he's used to it. and doesn't affect him too much apparently. WFZ aiming for that Archmage surround, but that can be easily deflected here as the beetles are already kind of low. We do have the dispels, we hear it, air, and the beetles are gone.
Crypto is gonna get a level 3 here with one more kill. There it is.
Beetles too.
Summons the beetles right away. It's also decent experience for this AM. 3.5 already. If he gets to level 4 quickly, he can apply a lot of pressure himself. This was definitely quite a few peasants going down.
Yeah.
Normally, this is where the human wants to flick the switch and be aggressive himself. But we don't have that many footies left here for Blade.
It's gonna be tough, that's for sure. Oh, Ghoul run by. WFZ did his homework. Well done. He's waiting for that expansion. Looks finished, isn't yet. Tower first. Has to wait for the militia time to run out to power build then. It's gonna be a very long tier 1 phase for Blade.
Yeah, Blade needs to do a lot of damage here now to catch up in tech, to make sure that he is returning some damage here on the other side. AM running quite far ahead of the rest of the army. Impales around could be dangerous, but Blade looks surprisingly confident. He's got the expansion coming up across the map, and the little ghoul run-by team was pulled back because WFZ notices he has barely anything to defend.
Okay, the tower is up though. How many acolytes can he kill? No tech yet. Maybe the Cryptlord is forced into a ritual dagger, which is some expenses you don't really want to do early on. Does have a new Rod of Necromancy trying to save that mercenary. Tower was cancelled. Ziggurat was cancelled. WFC will be stuck at 40 for a little while, but the mercenary goes down. Cryptlord, it's down to 1/3. Has a staff though to get out of dicey situations.
These acolytes being lost hurts economically. There's no necropolis here yet. Cryptlord pretty hurt as well, by the way. Only around 200 HP. Not so easy for him to go back into the fight. Blade is doing a good job here applying the pressure. He's got an arcane up on his side of the map. And I don't know if he started teching yet. If he didn't, he can do so in just a second.
Yeah, he has the resources now. Another acolyte through the forest. Man, this Claws plus 9 are going to town. Plus the circlet, of course. He might lose the Berserker for it. Oh, save. Great! Uh-oh, 20 HP on the Cryptlord. More time for Blade to apply pressure. It didn't look too hot after the initial defense, but Blade is playing really strong.
And WFZ now has to defend without his hero. If he sends him in, he's just gonna die. And Blade doing a great job applying the pressure. This is the trap that Sock fell into, just defending all the time. You have to know your strengths, and that is level 4 AM with footies and mercs.
Oh, Ziggurat falls again. Another right click from Watermental and Archmage. There might be... Oh, he must TP out now soon. The ghouls are too fast. There we go. Takes a ghoul with him. What can WFZ do? Being so hurt. Never got a ritual dagger. Oh, Blade didn't get a shop. That's an issue too. It's in the south.
That's so much gold missing for WFZ. Tier 1 still for WFZ? Oh my god! I thought he started teching.
Me too.
That's a complete disaster.
And Blade
That's a disaster.
How is Blade so confident? His Archmage is at 150. And he starts the middle camp, one of the heaviest contested camps on the map.
Crypto is healing up with the sacrificial skull. No, what's it called? Ritual dagger. Oh, would love to get the big Ogre Magi item over here.
Has to be careful of this Impale. Impale might be death. And now the Beetles and Ghouls come in for the run-by. One Arcane Tower is ready. Rest of the army pulls back. Blade is reacting. WFZ is getting the objective in the middle.
Alright, nice move here by WFZ. Pulls Blade out of position. He should be able to pull these ghouls back as well without losing too much. And that is going to be a good experience for the Cryptlord level 4 and the item. But dude, when is this Cryptlord finally going to fully heal again? His tech is so far away. When you have DK and potions, yeah, you can recover. But only with Ritual Dagger? That's going to take forever. I think you should go for a Shadow Priest.
Where did he... I didn't see the item. Did he sell it right away? Apparently.
Oh, yeah, he did. So... Wait. What would you sell?
Yeah.
Don't you want to keep everything?
Yeah, I think so too. He's rich anyway. He's like 800 gold.
Yeah, that's weird. Blade
Big
side
mana.
tier 3, by the way.
Big mana. People are paying more attention than we do. Greater mana, and he used it immediately.
That makes sense. Okay. For a second, I thought he sold the big mana. I was like, what? But no, he used it. I see.
Okay, finally the tech. And transition into Fiends. How fast will he gonna be at level 5? That's the question. MK coming already. Invo potion on Blade, plus the TP. They trade Murloc camps here. Both at 2 bases. Blade a little low on Lumber, but I think that's due to the tier 3 tech.
Both are very quickly getting to level 5. There's going to be hardly any creeps left for second and third heroes.
Yeah.
On both sides.
This will hurt both. Mountain King low level, DK low level. Both not perfect. Impale right clicks. Lots of beetles. Town portal home by Blade. Mountain King is not part of that. Imagine the MK here. But he gets the kill anyway, as no DK is with the Crypt Lord.
Yeah, I would love to see Blade here fighting now, getting value out of these footies while he still can. Once WFZ reaches tier 3, these footmen are going to be useless. So I think now with the MK and Stormbolt, aggressive play would be a great call. Buy Blade, buy a TP to be safe. Blade can afford it, he's got plenty of gold. Lumber is more the issue, as is the case so often on Echo Isles.
Yeah, I think there was the Castle tag, Workshop, Sanctum, Double Sanctum, plus Priest Adept upgrade. So he just invested a lot. That should even out after a while. Especially if he buys some items here and there. Which he did with a TP now.
So AM 5 and Cryptload's gonna be 5. Who is it better for?
Water Elemental 3. I wonder how far WFZ's tech is. Because he needs that Dispel soon. Otherwise, Water Torrent reigns supreme.
Blade looking for the creep tag. Look at this confidence by Blade. Moving across the map with only 50 supply, level 1 MK, and mostly mercs and footies.
Yeah, flexing his muscles. Gotta be careful about an Impale trying to bait. Whoa, that was a good one. That was the perfect line, pretty much. Not sure if Dispel is ready.
Should be. He had the double Sanctum. Takes out a Fiend. And if you can trade Footman for Fiends right here, that's wonderful for Blade.
Mountain King is a little separated from the rest of the army. First Breaker is coming in as well. Double Invo Potion for the Moldovan. Level 3 Impale, by the way.
Still not a spell? It looks like he still doesn't have it.
Berserk. He definitely queued it after the second Priest.
Ah, yeah, now he has it. We saw it there just a second ago. But that's the Merc Camp going to the DK. That's level 2 for the Aura. So important.
$2,000 gold for WFZ. 1,200 for Blade. We're rich people here.
Fiends, Banshees, all that good stuff. Statues coming in. There's a Gyro already scouting out, so Blade knows what's up. Usually what you want to play against this is like a few knights, maybe 2 to 3 knights, a good number of breakers, priests, gyros, and late game sorceresses.
Yeah, he played such a great game against Side in in DreamHack Europe Winter. He knows exactly what to do and when to do. So he's very good in mixing up the army composition according to his opponent.
Oh, the Paladin. He
Yo.
might be going down.
Oh, has an invul? Wow, sick control. Little damage in Blade's side at the moment. With only level 2 MK, there's almost no burst. With only level 1 Holy Light, there's almost no nuke.
And there's going to be a Lich out for WFZ here very soon. That's going to add in a lot of damage, but Blade is doing a good job standing between the bases, cutting off reinforcements, not allowing WFZ to get up to the dangerous 80 supply too quickly. Now the Lich comes.
Yeah, exactly. This mercenary can't hold it. He saved the Breaker, which was fine, which was important. Can't be nuked. We see the first Banshee. And anti-magic is ready as well.
Look at Blade.
WFZ probably watching some European replays.
He sees the Lich coming in. He knows he doesn't have the Knights yet. Now that the tier 3 for WFZ is established, he falls back and creeps up a little bit. The movement of Blade, the decision of when to be aggressive, when to fall back, he's looking really good. He has experience against the Crypt Lord. This is something we see over and over. If you misstep against the Crypt Lord and you fall behind, you are in trouble, my friend, very fast. But if you take every step properly, you can look very competitive in the late game. And Blade is looking good. He's got a 10 supply deficit, but at the moment, he's gonna get up to 70 here certainly before the first fight breaks out.
Yeah, he just invested into Orb and Staff, so he's safe. Second invul plus a heal scroll. No invul on WFZ. The units have anti-magic shield. He's gonna get level 3 Death Knight very soon for the healing. But still, this might be problematic. Paladin very low. What was that item here? Talisman of Evasion, very tanky MK, but MK levels are an issue. At least he got the Paladin up to 2. Decides to go for Devotion Aura. Not afraid of the Undead Nuke.
Yeah. No Divine Shield against level 3 Impale and Coil Nova.
Talking confidence, baby.
Can be dangerous. Oh, WZ is getting strong. He's getting really strong. 5, 3, 2 hero levels, crucial level ups, and the 3rd attack upgrade for the Fiends. Blade, I think he's not quite online yet.
It's another round of production. WFZ got the first invul for him. In general, his inventory is looking fantastic. Double mana potion, heal scroll, invul, heal potion. The Crypt Lord is very tanky. Without level 3 MK, maybe you shouldn't engage, but you have to.
And the game is kind of in a weird state right now. There's no creeps left on the map. There's no expansion left to take. They're just both kind of building the perfect army. And Blade is getting stronger by the minute. He's got more upgrades coming in. He's got Inner Fire now. And if he throws Sorceresses into this army, he's got the perfect 80 supply.
Is he on the way to detect them yet? Maybe not too necessary.
Oh, there's ghouls flooding towards the main. No, that's beetles, actually.
And a few ghouls. And the siege starts. Well played by WFZ so far. Both will be around 80. WFZ at 1,000 gold again. So is Blade. But yeah, again, Human and Lumber on Echo Isles. Unbelievable that this continues to happen. First Impale was okay. The first Sork has arrived.
We see possessions coming in, by the way. One Knight is already stolen. Paladin in trouble. WFZ in high upkeep now. And the Breakers starting to fall. The Knights starting to get stolen. WFZ having a pretty good fight here so far, it seems.
Absolutely. Well reacted. Well engaged. Paladin far in the back. Needs to deal with these Knights. Mountain King gets the healing. Was very, very low. All of a sudden, WFZ is starting to lose something. Reinforcements, of course. Gyro numbers still, of course, high. The Knight finally goes down. That was a big damage against Breakers. That's not existent anymore.
Trying with the hero kill now. Stormbolt, something. Oh, Impale coming through. MK in trouble. MK is dead. Mountain King hits the Dag Blade. Apparently not quite ready in time. Oh, all the Knights getting stolen. The possession.
Wow.
Making all the difference in the world.
WFZ with a very, very good game. Blade maybe not in time going for the Banshees. Also very awkward fighting position. And he cleans the anti-air now. Can then go for Destroyers. And he's even more dominant. A 25 supply lead for Wufa This looks good. And we yet have to go to Turtle Rock.
Damn, after such a strong early game for Blade, WFZ assembles his 80 supply army. Didn't go for any destroyers. These gyros did nothing. And the Knights were just stolen. The way to ideally counter that is to staff out the Knights that are getting possessed with multiple staffs and to use Stormbolt. But of course, hard to do all of that perfectly when the carnage of the fight is ensuing.
Paladin about to drop as well. We have no mana potions anymore, so he should be safe. He's a little more brave. Focus Fire is blocking himself. And excuse me, there was mana for a Nova. And so the healer is wiped out as well. Archmage kind of close to 6 now. We've seen Sok yesterday. with Mass Teleport, holding on long time against Michael. But yeah, this is a rough game for Blade now. It's almost unwinnable, I would say. 2,000 gold for WFZ. Almost nothing to reproduce.
Waiting for the heroes to return. That's the problem on Echo Isles. If after an early game like that, it wasn't a different map, Blade could have leveled up like crazy. He could have gotten level 3 MK, could have gotten level 2 Paladin without any trouble before that push. But on Echo Isles, there's very few creeps. So he wasn't quite able to get these higher level heroes, which is something that Human heavily relies on in the late game. On the other maps, LR and Turtle Rock, it would be a lot better. But of course, expansions there can be harder. Blade in serious trouble here now.
Yeah, doesn't even stay below 50 to mine out the top. There's not much gold left. WFZ is getting ready to go to 100 supply. MK is back, is level 3. Paladin comes back as well. Maybe the Sorks were a little too late. Couldn't counter the possession with Polymorph. And doesn't have Mortars. So the damage against Banshees is very, very, very limited.
Anti-magic once again applied everywhere. It's going to be very hard for Blade to find kills down. 30 supply. Yes. Now 10 of that for WFZ still stuck in production as he goes up to 90. But even without it, super scary army.
And he can just easily go into this economy. Will the angle be a little better for Blade? 2 abominations. Gatekeepers. The Echo is wrecked there. Quite some damage, quite some physical damage on the abominations, but as long as they're still in the front and can be coiled, this looks good. Again, the impales for WFZ are really good. Staff out of the Paladin this time, but no healing anymore.
Yeah, no aura, no healing. That staff is not as bad as the hero loss. But it's similar. Out of the fight now. Cripple level 6. Is it time for the ultimate Locust Swarm? Yes, it is! And Blade calls for the GG. WFZ wins this game despite all the pressure he was under. Man, that must be a disappointing loss for Blade. He knows that he was in a good position that game, but suddenly 80 supply undead arrives. And those possessions made the big difference.
Absolutely. He stole, what, 3 knights? It's really good. Good execution there. I wouldn't think necessarily that WFZ is so used to the late game Crypt Lord plays. Mid game was shaking a little, but worked. And MK not level 3 for a long time. That hurt Blade.
Next map though should be better. Last Refuge, if executed properly, can be very strong for Human. But we'll see if we get there. Look at that. The Crypt Lord drops down to 20 HP. It seemed like Blade might have that game. But good hold by WFZ, even with hardly being able to use his hero. Couple of Beetle run-bys and Ghoul run-bys, and these did quite a bit. These peasants dying especially was problematic lumber-wise, and Blade didn't get to the crazy strong 3-3 breakers and knights.
Yeah. That will definitely be possible on our next map as we go on to Last Refuge after this one. Echo Isles turns into a little bit of a home base for the undead here.
I wonder if he had the Dispel there earlier. When he's going for the Creepjack at the Merc, if he goes 2 priests into Dispel right away.
He did.
Maybe that could have been better for him.
He did go 2 priests into wood though. Still very late. Although was still not in time apparently.
He must have delayed production because the upgrade is very fast. He should have had it if he started right away. But painful loss for Blade, man. He did so many things so right. That was a super strong early game by him. I'm not sure that the Creep Rod was 100% the best. I think against WFZ, it's so likely he's playing Crypt Lord. Maybe you should just go for a blind Mercamp creep at the beginning. But it's easy to say, you know, from our perspective, we have nothing to risk. Whereas if you go for the Mercamp right away and actually the undead ends up playing DK and harasses you, it suddenly can become very, very painful. Late map choice now. Last Refuge. Should be a better map for him. If he gets off to a good start, decent mercenary army, expansion, strong AM. Could still certainly be a good game for him. The worrying thing is, he was in that situation on Echo Isles, but it wasn't enough for the win in the end.
This was the crazy map against Side at DreamHack Winter with Possession, with Polymorph. That was definitely one of Blade's best performances against Undead recently. Side, of course, putting on a great fight, but that will be the same for WFZ as well. Probably one of his best chances to finally make it into the playoffs again. He would have to defeat either Lawlight or Tomiko afterwards, or Blade back-to-back, if he's dropping to the lower bracket. But, judging from map 1, that seems possible. Okay, can Blade tie this up? Can he win a map for the West? Or will WFZ advance to the winner bracket final with a clean 2-0? So far, we had a pattern. 2 2-1s a day and 2 2-0s a day. This could ruin it.
So off we go. Map number 2. WFZ sticks with the same build. Ghoul opening once again with the Crypt Lord, very likely, and a fast expansion. Definitely playable here. This expo is just as easy to creep as it is on Echo Isles, but it's way closer to the opponent than on Echo Isles, so it's easier to push as well. That goes for both sides, of course. WFZ was thinking about a Ghoul run by earlier on Echo, couldn't pull through with it because of the pressure that he was under. But we see that on Last Refuge all the time. Split pushes, oftentimes even from the Undead. Is that something that WFZ is aware of? I'm sure he is. Another thing that Blade will have to keep in mind.
Okay. More creeps, easier to get high levels, easier to stall some time. And here the run-bys are oftentimes prevented very fast. Like, it's the normal human play nowadays to scout all the lanes, see if ghouls and beetles are coming, and react accordingly. This doesn't work as well anymore as on Echo Isles, and even on Echo Isles, Blade shut that down.
Absolutely. Footman moving out to scout, so not a blind Merc camp creep right away. If you want to do that, you have to use the footy to pull out the Mercs, but Blade wants to play it safe. He doesn't want to gamble. He's going to creep green, and then the Merc camp, I imagine, could be double green into Merc, but mercenaries are crucial. You should always make use of them, if you can, depending on the map against the Crypt Lord. Oh, look at that Blade being aggressive, maybe? The footy again, using a couple of Crypt Lord creeping the Merc camp first. What is this?
That's interesting. With a skull. He bought only one skull. So has to go Haunted Goldmine if he wants to expand. Or maybe he doesn't and want to go for a powerful push?
Maybe he's just teching.
Yeah.
I think he's just teching. Alright, AM is showing up.
More damage
He
on
steals
the
the item. Oh, he's not going into position to steal the item. Last hit for the Crypt Lord. Sobi Mask!
And level 2. That's so many beetles. That's so much impale. That's the dream for WFZ. Footman falls. Archmage, what can he do? Very limited potential here. Another Footman goes down. That's an absolute disaster for Blade.
Level 1 AM aggression. Always dangerous to go for. Tech has started on both sides, but the AM can't continue to creep too easily.
Yeah, WFZ will definitely pressure him a lot. Will keep track. Finishes the rest of the camp first. Gives him some time. That's curious. He's scouting in the north to see, hey, dude, you're a human. You're supposed to expand here. What are you doing?
Sobi Mask, dude, is so good. Usually the advantage for the AM early game is the Crypt Lord runs out of mana fairly fast, and then you can keep on pressuring. But with the Sobi Mask, that might not be exactly the case. Oh, Blade starts the creep camp, and just then arrives WFZ.
Kinda was to be expected, to be honest. Goes for the mercenary now to rise up in levels. Saves the footman here. Okay, focuses on the creep. Doesn't want to give this Crypt Lord level 3.
Crypt Lord took a lot of damage. That's one thing that Blade can try to punch, but here also the Shadow Priest comes in handy. WFZ playing a good game here so far.
Once again, he's getting a lot of pressure onto the Crypt Lord, but not only does he have the mana regeneration with the Subi Mask, he also has the healing thanks to the Shadow Priest. So very, very well prepared. Is this a one base human undead game here now?
I don't know, man. We don't see these too often. I hope Blade doesn't go for a tier 2 expo, because if you do that, you're stuck on tier 2 pretty much forever. And that is a serious problem against Crypt Lord in the late game. But yeah, normally we see fast expansions. This is unusual terrain, for me at least to see. I'm sure these two players have had experience with that in the past. But we see the Crypt Lord hits level 3 and hits it way before the AM does.
Yeah, very interesting build by Blade. Something that we never really see. Of course, we see him early aggressioning with an Archmage, so from Fortitude, but not backed up by an expansion, just going rogue. His goals were not met. He couldn't prevent level 3. Well, he did prevent an expansion for now, but I think WFZ will follow this up soon. He has the resources now.
And WZ already tech to tier 3. If he can also fit in an expansion, that would be wonderful. Lumber is a little bit low for that right now, as Blade tries to keep on being aggressive. Footman numbers aren't that high though, and he doesn't have mercenaries to deal with these beetles. This is a tough game for Blade.
How can he fight back? What can he do? When is there a weak position for the undead? There barely is.
Blade has amazing rifle control, but Impale is a powerful weapon, especially against riflemen. Oh, he is going for the tier 2 expansion, is he? Well, maybe just using the militia to creep here as Blade.
Gotta be a little careful with that. WFZ focuses on his own progress, double mana potion on the DK as it should be. So much mana. Greater mana potion, oh boy!
Rune Bracers for the Mountain King. Very nice for the late game. And Blade is going tier 3.
Yeah, greedy tier 3. No pressure on the main by WFZ, but he's going for the second consumable in the middle. This is almost Keeper Alchemist-esque.
Yeah, speaking of greedy, that creeping is, yeah. WZ notices, yeah, a little too ambitious. You got me! You got me! Alright, never mind. You get this camp.
They never went for a Haunted Goldmine. Necro into Ziggurat into Haunted Goldmine.
Yeah, it's only 30 supply here for WFZ. With the beetles, he can still creep pretty well, but not many actual units. Blade keeps on scouting the expo, does that very well. Oh, and even gets a cancel here.
Okay, good multitasking now. Blade apparently catching up. He goes Stormbolt and Clap. No bash. Lich third is coming for WFZ. DK levels aren't there yet at all, and the Mountain King is very close to 3.
He did go Clap this time, I like that. Before we only saw Stormbolt and Bash. That's gonna be at level 3 here. Blade, can he creep the red camp with this army? Maybe.
Gets a couple of rifles in. Water elementals are strong. With Stormbolt you can do it. Double hood. That's the last close camp for WFZ. Everything else is gone. Especially the greens were stolen by Blade. So he has to go to the red spots or to one of the nulls. There's not much progress to be made for the Lich especially, who doesn't need this the most because Nova is strong, level 1 Lich is strong. DK will not reach level 3 though.
Yeah, it's gonna be not too easy to keep these A-bombs alive. But I suppose if there's no A-bombs, at least there's beetles. Blade definitely needs heal scrolls. A lot of them. Also needs the orb, also needs the staff, also needs the paladin. That's the thing about tier 3 human. It's very strong if you get there, but it's also pretty damn expensive. Very hard to make use on one base. Oh, and here comes the Crypt Lord, waiting for the perfect impale. Hits it on 3 targets right away. Nova to follow up. And there's no heal scroll yet here for the human.
Is there hope for Blade? The Lich is able to attack the Rifleman. That's big damage. He's not pulling them back. Getting caught by the Impale once again. Destroyers take care of the Water Elemental, so there's barely any anti-air available. Blade getting pretty much wrecked in the fight.
Without a paladin, very tough to take this fight. Pally should be coming now. I think he may have just been queued. Oh no, he's coming out now. Orb of Fire is going to help a lot. I imagine he's going to pick that up right away. But big item now for WFZ. He got some Battlegrounds.
Oh yeah. As if you need more damage as an undead. He gets it though. Lich with claws, also appreciated. Still so much mana to use. He never felt forced into using one of these bottles. Blade still with the TP, Scroll of the Beast. There is the spell. In forms of destroyers. And I'm really wondering, how do you get rid of these destroyers with only rifles?
I've seen Blade do marvelous things with one base rifles. But he's playing against Crypt Lord and Lich and A-bombs. It's gonna be tough. On high ping, of course, we have to keep in mind. Blade slowly but surely was able to crawl his way back up to 50 supply. But WZ is getting ready for the base run by morphing the destroyers. He wants to say hello to these peasants.
There's barely any towers, as Blade rarely does. It feels a little like map 1 broke Blade's confidence in this matchup. So, TP home now to save the economy, save the shop. Oh, no. Feels like he has enough time.
These beetles gonna do quite a bit of damage there in the back. The dangerous thing is, if you TP, you're asking to get impaled. Speaking of asking to get impaled, that AM very far forward. Repositions now.
Unholy Aura for Blade. Amazing. First impale was great for WFZ. Nova follows up in anticipation. Has the Holy Light already. And the Destroyer, little far forward, moves him out of the way. Just barely. Statue in the back, healing constantly. That's nice. And Blade is losing more and more supply.
Gyro's coming in now to pressure the destroyers. There's no fiends here to web them, but the heroes seem to be taking them out pretty fast. Only 2 rifles left for Blade. Mountain King has to use the Storm Bolts. He still has almost full mana. Oh, another impale comes through. Blade drops down so low in supply. WFZ hits a level 5 on the Crypt Lord. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Crypt Lord has arrived in China, I'd say. Book of the Dead, impale on 2 heroes, can't heal, Paladin gone, Blade wrecked. No chance for him. GG. That was a brutal debut for the Moldovan.
Good game by WFZ and Blade. On Echo Isles, the counter expansion didn't work out. On Last Refuge, he didn't want to try it anymore. Tries to play one base against the Crypt Lord, and that's pretty problematic to do. You're going to have a lot of difficulty dealing with the beetles in the early stages, and it seems like the undead is always one step ahead. A little bit of a disappointing first game for Blade. Would have loved to see him again play the counter expansion, but well, that's it for his first series.
Yeah, he has to step it up. He's gonna face Lawlight or Chimiko in the lower finals. So this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be real tough. Also for WFZ, next match is probably the hardest in the group. But yeah, Blade not living up to his potential. Game 1 was strong. Game 2, not so much. This tier level 1 Archmage aggression. Who does that? Pretty much no one. And for good reason.
Yeah, it was so hard to take these fights. against Impale and Nova. That Toby mask, by the way, wonderful to have. Got it right at the beginning of the game. There was so much mana regen over time. But Blade hasn't shown us his full potential yet. If he can play a little bit better, he's still gonna have a shot here in Group D. But he is, of course, playing against world-class players. Moldovan is not gonna have it easy.
Yeah, for sure. He was like, Blade has two faces. Either he plays absolutely amazing or a little underwhelming. He showed both faces today, I think. Echo Isles really well, then slipping a little, one or two bad decisions with timings. Last Refuge, he should just forget about that. Scratch that. Ignore it from now on. And yeah, good luck against Tomiko or Lawlion.
We're gonna hear from WFZ in a winner interview here in a moment. He's on stage here in Shanghai. And that's a good confidence booster for WFZ, who oftentimes at WGL feels all but confident, where he tends to have a bad time. But here now in the matchup against Human, he seems to be very well practiced now with the Cryptid. He's been spamming that hero for the last 4 months or so. And he's looking pretty good, even if he falls behind like we saw on Echo Isles early.
Yeah, he did his homework, for sure. He knew exactly what to do, even coming up with own ideas here on Last Refuge. And on Echo Isles, lots of things done well. Good timings, good decisions. And then the final push. This Banshee possession shouldn't work so well, but it absolutely did. 3 knights. Yikes. We have, of course, one more game for you guys. It's gonna be the Korean battle between Lawlion and Chimiko, 2 former roommates. And Chimiko has been shown great performances recently against Night Elf. He has defeated Moon and Colorful back-to-back, displaying a new MK Alchemist Blood Mage strategy. And Lawlion recently felt a little frustrated against the human race. We'll see if he did his homework.
Last WGL, it was all about keeper mass, keeper archers push, and so on. We see that now in Night Elf Mirror once again, keeper archer with expansion, I guess. I wonder what's going to be the play. The Beastmaster was the flavor of the month a little while ago. Feels like humans have found an answer to that as well with the Blood Mage. In general, we're seeing a lot of really strong Blood Mages nowadays. That's always a fascinating matchup to me. Night Elf versus human. So many developments always.
Indeed, lots of different paths you can go in that match. And knowing each other so well, being practice partners, I can only imagine what these guys came up with. It is the highest paying tournament in all of Warcraft, so lots of preparation went in there. Nobody can really take a rest at the moment. So many tournaments going on. WCG, DreamHack, AWL. What else is there? Next. There's pretty much a tier 1 or tier 2 tournament every single weekend.
Yeah, wonderful to see so much Warcraft action here towards the end of the year, where the action oftentimes ramps up. Before Christmas, we're gonna have, I guess, multiple champions crowned, but this is the big one. The WGL champion, the biggest prestige. The winner even gets the stained glass style, as we see the AM always in the background from Infi's victory last time. I wonder if that prophecy is gonna hold true. I would love for it to be a Night Elf this time, so we have the perfect order.
There's no prophecy without the prophet saying so, okay? So, I don't know. I'm curious if... okay, we are going for the winner interview first. We got Aragon Wong again with us, translating for us.
其实你作为亡灵玩家一直是 DK 的一个忠实的粉丝，自己在比赛里经常用 DK 首发啊，但是现在大势所趋，我看到你今天2场比赛都用了地穴领主小强首发，哎，为什么会有这样一个转变？
可能因为这几个版本的数据上有调整了 ，DK 大家也都打习惯了，所以 DK 就没有那么好用了，反而是小强。
So WFZ, you as an undead, you used to be a big fan of the DK. Why do you choose the Crypt Lord now?
但是 我也看到，我觉得这个战术是可以作为打常规的一个首发的可能，所以大家现在还是在对这个战术不断的完善当中。
好的，那么这个小强呢，我们知道他这个招小强是 farm 的一个利器，而他另一个技能穿刺是围杀的一个利器。昨天比赛里面
So the Crypt Lord got buffed. That's why I'm picking it, even though I'm not used to it completely. After all the years of DK use, of course, it does take some time.
努力练，哪怕你笨一点，也能练好的。不知道四哥怎么看
But I think it's a good strategy. And that showed here. Man, BBC is getting some laugh out of these people here today.
四哥的粉丝啊，叫 TS 小猪，他说有人把圣骑士光环叫做四哥光环，哎，这是什么梗啊？这个四哥有什么回应？
就是以前，包括现在吧。
So, Mikael said the Crypt Lord is good if you practice it a lot and if you're used to it. What do you think?
作为亡灵，其实防御力是最重要的数据啊。好的，这是四哥对于亡灵的独到理解。好，希望这个我们
Okay, he says very hard,
继续的高歌猛进
very hard to play.
好，那我们接下来今天还有最后一大场的比赛，我们广告之后马上回来。
Next question was, you are known as the Lord of the Rings. How do you feel when you get the devotion aura? That's an interesting question. Waiting for his answer at the moment. And WFZ says, since it's buffed, it's pretty good for Undead. It was pretty much doubled from 1 to 2. And that is the answers of WFZ. All right, thank you, Wong. We got one more match here today at the Gold League Day 2 Winnerbracket Semifinals. The last one, it's Lawlight versus Chemico. And of course, since we don't want to interrupt our broadcast with alerts and thank yous for the World Championship, we take the time now. We got 3 subs here. Thank you, Madfly, for the 1-year resub. Yayut for the 51-month resub. And Jayseer for the 1-year resub. Thanks, as always, for all the content. We're not getting paid for this coverage, so feel free if you want to support us. Hit that sub button, throw us a dime via donation at Streamlabs, buy our merchandise, or just spread the word via socials. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe buttons, share our content, and then after a little break, we are back with match number 4 here at Gold League Winter.